Yeah, well, yeah, this is time to go. I'm sure it's cool. Maybe just having to go back.
Okay, so does anybody want to share any overcoming, or sorry, fears that they have when it comes to recommendation letters? I'll pass it to Candy, whoever answers. Let's have a-
Whether or not they're gonna actually like remember enough about us to give a comprehensive recommendation.
Alright, so he said whether or not they're gonna remember you enough to give a recommendation letter.
Maybe not feeling like you have a close enough relationship with enough different people. Like maybe you're really close with one person, but you need more than one recommendation letter and not knowing who to go to or something.
Okay, so she said, like, not having enough close relationships with enough people to write recommendation letters.
Just taking the first step and going to office hours. Sometimes it's what you talk about and how you get involved.
So she said taking the first step to go to office hours, and sometimes you might not know what to say when you get there, what to do. Anybody else want to share something?
Depending on if they're professor included or not, something like that,
So he said whether or not the professor knows you enough or write you a recommendation. Does anybody have any like fears about asking a professional, somebody you don't know, somebody that's already in your industry, that you want to do? So, if you guys listen, you basically heard that the most common fear is rejection. They don't know you, so they'll say no to writing your recommendation letter. Or what if they don't like me when you go to office hours? Or what if they don't think I'm qualified to apply to this job, internship, scholarship, or grad school that I'm trying to get into? These are all common fears. So we're going to talk about 8 ways in which you can overcome your fear. So the first one is plan. You want to plan and put together a list of things and ways in which you can overcome your fear. And if you need help, you can consult with your friend or family member, and they can help you make up a list of ways in which you can take action towards overcoming your fear. So the second one is take action. After you have that list, you want to take action immediately, and you want to do it consistently. Because if you don't do it consistently, how are you going to overcome it? So if you just are stagnant and you don't do anything, that fear is going to build up, and you're going to be more afraid to tackle it. But when you take small steps and tackle it, all of the steps are going to add up, and eventually, you're going to build up the confidence to overcome your fear. The third one is take breaks. So what you want to do is give yourself some distance between you and that fear or that thing that has been on your mind for a long time. And sometimes taking a break allows you to relax and rejuvenate and build up more confidence to go back and tackle your fear. The fourth one is get inspired often. So you want to listen or watch or read something that you find that's inspirational. Sometimes something inspirational can help you overcome a fear and help you build up the courage to tackle it. The next one is remember past successes. So what you want to do is make a list of accomplishments that you have done. You may never know. Once you start making up a list of accomplishments that you have done, you'll feel really great about yourself. The sixth one is give yourself more options. So if you have less options and you don't give yourself leeway, you're going to feel more pressure to do things. Compared to when you have a lot more options, you feel a lot more freedom and you don't feel stressed. The seventh one is regain perspective. So what you want to do is possibly volunteer or help others that are more in need than you. And when you're helping others that need more things than you feel like you're blessed. You feel like you have more blessings, and you feel like your predicament may not be as bad as you thought it was. It probably still can be bad, your fear, but some people have worse fears than you. And the 8th one is use comparisons wisely. So how many people in here compare themselves to their peers? A lot of people. I know I do it. Honestly, I'm a senior, and I compare myself to a whole bunch of other seniors, but I'm not graduating on time. So I always feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. But don't do that. That's not something I should be doing, and I stopped doing it, and I overcame that because I know eventually that I am going to graduate. It's not like I'm not graduating at all. I will graduate. So it's not good to compare yourselves to others. What you want to do is, if you're going to compare yourself to somebody, you can at least compare yourself to somebody that's inspirational. You want to be like a person who's made an impact on the world. But do not compare yourself to your peers or somebody that you don't know. Because you never know. You may have more blessings than somebody else, and they may be looking at you and envying you because they feel like you got more blessings than they do. So don't compare yourself. You may never know what other people are going through.
Okay, so I know someone mentioned a fear of basically whoever they ask for a recommendation letter from not knowing much about you. Well, whenever you're developing those relationships and cultivating them, these are kind of some things that you want to show them in your interaction with them. So like motivation, they should know like what your goals and aspirations are, and that you're committed to doing whatever it is that you're doing, and have that drive, that self-drive to kind of get yourself there. Emotional stability, how you are in different situations, how you deal with different people, maybe if something's going on in your life, how you separate that from like your actual goals to keep working. Leadership, they want to know, obviously, if you have leadership skills, abilities, just kind of seeing again the type of person that you are. If you're applying for a job and you might have a task where you have to manage a team, that's something that a potential recommender needs to be able to speak on for you. Communication skills, a lot of times in jobs, grad school, whatever, you're going to have to communicate with other people, so they're going to want to know, how do you do that? Introverted, extroverted, things like that. Intellectual capacity, we're in school right now, so like, how did you do in school? Good grades, good GPA, and all of that. Maturity and reliability. Basically, again, getting to know who you are as a person and how you're going to act in whatever, job position or like law school, how you're going to be in those different programs. Your ability to take criticism is a big one, because I know, honestly, anytime you work in a job, you're going to be critiqued. Law school, you're going to be given a task, and you're going to get feedback on it, so they need to know how you're going to take that and run with it and progress from there. I know personal hygiene is kind of like a weird one, but that's another thing. How do you present yourself as a person? So whenever you walk into a room, do you look out of place? Are you well put together, like we said, dressing business professional in the right settings and things like that, and not standing out in a negative way. And then integrity is also a big one. Again, just knowing the type of person that you are and good qualities that you have as a person. Are there any questions at this point so far? Okay. Well, now I'm going to talk about how to ask for a recommendation. So again, like we've kept saying, in person, face-to-face is the best way, so that you can put a name to the face, and it's also more personal as well, since they're going to be writing about you and what a great person you are. They at least deserve the courtesy of you coming in person and asking them, other than just sending them a quick little short email. That wasn't thought out as much. Lauren's going to address this later, but a folder, basically coming prepared with the information about what specifically you need from the person writing a recommendation letter. So you can't ask for a recommendation and then they ask when is it due and you don't know the deadline, or you don't have any information to give them about the job position. So there's all kinds of things you need to come prepared with, so that whenever you ask somebody, it's all laid out right there on the table for them, and there should be no problem later. Again, if it can't be in person, LinkedIn or an email is another way to do it. Just make sure that you've thought it out and put a lot of effort into it so that your message is clearly, is clear. But the thing about emails is a lot of times, like, they can be overlooked. Like, I know, like, professors get, like, hundreds of emails a day, and they might, like, skip it or not see it until later, once they decide to go through all their emails. Or if they're like me, they might open it and read it and then forget about it and say they'll come to it later, and then, you know, it just gets lost in all the files. And then, like Kiara mentioned earlier, thanking them again. So once you've asked and they've agreed to do it, and, you know, they send off the recommendation letter, make sure to thank them. Just let them know that you appreciate their time that they took to write about you and to help you towards your goal. And then also keep them updated on the process. Like, if you ask for a recommendation letter from med school and they write it for you, follow up with them and say, hey, I got accepted into med school. Thank you so much for, you know, your part in that, because they wrote the letter for you.
So that is the letter of recommendation, and we'll talk about 3 steps. We kind of already went over them already, but the first step is laying the groundwork for a relationship. So as we talked about, starting a relationship and cultivating it. You want to reach out to professionals, you want to reach out to professors, get to know them, go to office hours. Do not be afraid to go to office hours. That's why they are there, to help you in their class or to get to know you, or you can get to know them. That's establishing it. Then you want to make sure you constantly meet up with them, but I'm not talking like weekly or, you know, every day. This could be like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. Just don't disappear and come back and ask for a recommendation letter. So there's also departmental, they put on events, and a lot of faculty members and researchers, they go to these events. So try to make an effort to go out to them. I know some companies come out and put on dinners, and as a way for you to get to know them and what type of opportunities they have. You can go there and get to know those people that are usually on the hiring committee for that internship or co-op that they're offering. So the second step is keep in touch. So like I said, don't be that student that got to know